Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Long Dark. I do hope everybody's week is going tolerably well. So, where are we? Well, the stream seems to have successfully started, which is a relief. I don't want a repetition of what happened a couple of days ago. So, shot the bear yesterday from the foredeck of the Riken. That was, I didn't know you could actually do that, so I've learned something new. Harvested most of the bear. Circumstances kind of got in the way of harvesting all of it, but the result is I still have a plethora of cooked meats available. Obviously, you know that if you've been watching, that Astrid picked up the revolver from Hibernia Processing. Managed to get a deer skin by scaring off or slash killing a wolf that had taken down the deer, so I do need a deer skin to fix my boots, so now that needs to cure. The moose skin has fully cured, so the plan is to head to the Hibernia Processing place to make the moose skin coat and spend as much time there as necessary. With a bit of luck, the plan is to harvest some of the remaining bear on the way, I hope, if it's still there and it hasn't despawned. Potential dangers, apart from respawned wolves, include a respawned moose, which might kind of respawn today or tomorrow, which is going to be interesting if that's the case. So, survival at Desolation Point is proceeding in a very satisfactory fashion. In fact, it's the most satisfactory fashion ever for me. I don't think I was this successful when I stayed there during my Voyager run. So, let us be about it. And why am I stinky? The perennial question. Didn't eat all of it. Should have eaten that little bit. Good morning, Dani. How are you doing? So, where's the moose skin? Oh, I put it away, didn't I? That's not curing. That's curing. Got a couple of maple saplings, which is handy. All my gut is curing there. There's the moose hide. Let's have a look. Weather's nice. So like I say, my biggest danger is the moose coming back in. And I don't see it. Oh, tired. I've been awake since about 1:30. I'll get a nap this evening. I typically do. What have we got in terms of water? Okay, I will need to grab water. Good thing about the Hibernia Processing Station is that it does have a plethora of wood. Let's droppity drop. Grab some fresh bear meat.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah. And get some water. So yeah, the basic plan is spend as long as necessary in the... That's more than enough. All I've got to do now is remember how much I need. I need moose hide. And I will need some gut. What do I need for the guts? How is Peanut? I need 4 cured gut. Okay. 2, 3, 4. And I should take the MREs with me, just in case. And she's overloaded, but it's kind of unavoidable. So I've got food, I've got water. I should have a safe-ish trip across the ice. And I've got the revolver, which hopefully I will avoid waking everybody up by taking.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
So, yeah, here's the minor challenge. Don't smell. Unfortunately, Astrid spent most of last night cooking, so she didn't get a lot of sleep. And I sincerely hope we can make this trip without undue incident. This game seriously is not for you if you are of a nervous disposition. Especially if you're not sure when and if all the various aggressive wildlife is going to come and ruin your day. As to say, my biggest fear is that the moose pops up somewhere unexpected. Well, at least Peanut is getting on with your mum's cat, I suppose. Alright. I am not seeing a moose, which so far is good news. If you were familiar, this is where I shot the moose last time. Normally, if you see it, I say normally, I've seen it, yes, on here, this little ramp there. It's a very common place to see it. Another common place is in the region of the bridge. I have been trampled over there. One of my biggest fears, if you like, is the sight of those palmate antlers, which is sometimes the first thing you see. You notice the antlers, then you notice the huge thing that they're attached to. It looks like the bear is still over there. Oh dear, I'm doing it again. I'm rhyming bear with something. But that was the plan. In principle, I'm moderately safe. once I get past Moose Island, or whatever it's called. With the bear dead, my biggest concern in this region, of course, is wolves, but the one wolf that I did encounter, I can't remember whether I stabbed it with a knife or bludgeoned it with an axe. But the bear is still present. See what I did? I managed not to rhyme there. And in principle, I should be far enough away that if I spend some time grabbing this, it should be good. Poor bear. I am going to be seriously overloaded. So I've got meat. And as long as I get away with this, I don't mind. I don't mind taking my time. That was fortuitous. That was the plan. This is probably the last in-game day that I would have been able to do this. There's something dead over there. That's possibly a wolf. Last wolf that attacked me was right there. Of course I had a vitamin C warning, because of course I did. I will try not to have an accidental discharge and wake everybody up. It's kind of daft that they don't let you chop the wooden boats up. See if we can crawl up here. There should be a fire barrel in the up here in the processing center itself, which is very useful. Of course, it is not as useful as having a 6-top stove. Please notice the care with which I said that, because otherwise it comes out as if I have a stutter. The most valuable thing, one of the most valuable things you can have, is a location with a 6-top stove. I feel like Rowan Atkinson making regular words sound amusing. If you've ever heard Rowan Atkinson making simple words sound amusing, it is actually kind of amusing, funny. Well, we made it. How about that?
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
The best laid plans of mice. And men, said Arthur. Douglas Adams. And in case you were wondering what that was about, that was when Arthur Dent was in the process of discovering that mice essentially ruled the universe. And if you haven't read Douglas Adams, you probably should. Alright, I think, yes. What we want is... And there's... And there's our fire barrel. I think there's another one. Let's see if we can't get closer to... I think there's another one in here. But I could be wrong, and if I am, that's alright. What I better do now is find the workbench. There's the workbench. I think. No, there's a metal table. Where's the workbench? I know there's a workbench here somewhere, otherwise I wouldn't have made the trip. Please tell me I was right and that there is a workbench here somewhere. I know there is. I will be most irritated if I came all this way and my memory was faulty. There's another metal table. Oh, please don't tell me that I was wrong. Where's the workbench? Somebody tell me, please, that I am correct in thinking there is a workbench around here. Because this whole trip was based on the idea that there was one. Because my memory said that there was. I will be profoundly irritated if I turn out to be wrong. This probably wasn't the wisest move. Did I see something round here, or did I imagine it? I imagined it. You're joking. Did I come all this way for nothing? In my mind, I think I thought that was the workbench. But obviously it's not. Don't tell me I'm going to have to search this place again. I could have sworn blind there was one in here. Ah, there we go. I was not incorrect. Thank goodness for that. Alright. Let us... Alright, that's okay. Let's do a bit of cookery. Oh, never mind. Well, if necessary, we're good for a couple of days here. Kind of amusing I can do this at night. Ah. Oh, last. Oh, that was silly. I should have paid more attention. Hello, Zen Lennis. The plan worked. I made it across the ice, picked up the last of the bear,
That's a good one.
and made it to the whale processing center, where I am setting up to make the moose skin coat. Ah, drat. Didn't want to do that.
I think I need to lie down.
So I've got loads of food and That'll do for now. So we got water, we got food, and we have everything we need, hopefully. And we can place the bedroll somewhere. Oh, come on. Ah. There we go. So, yeah, no, this is so far, so good. The plan actually worked. The great thing about this place is the plethora of firewood available to you. Oh, very good. Where did you find the, well, which was it? The revolver or the rifle? And please share where you found it. Curious minds want to know. Okay. So far, so good. Now, I shouldn't do this. But I'm going to. Good morning, Anna. How are you doing?
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Right. So, we will now settle down for a moose hide cloak. Oh, right. That's good to know. Yeah, where did I put the meat? Let's make some more water, because I'm going to need that. I didn't know there was a
Come on, little fire.
revolver
Come
in
on.
the bank in Milton. Oh, right.
Perfect. not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oops. That was only half a litre. Silly me. Never mind, it'll work out. What I've got to do now is find out where my bedroll is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Have I been to Milton on this playthrough? I have not. I spent quite a bit of time in Milton and in the farmhouse nearby during my successful Voyager run. Back when I was really still learning, and essentially spent most of the game having a minor panic attack. Oh, you're very welcome, Anna. Thank you for your assistance. Good news. I am currently, according to my analytics, at 2,000 hours of viewing this month. And that's only half the month gone. And that, I think, is a record for me. I'm up to 4,800 views, and I think that's a record for me. So if we continue at this pace, this will be my best month, I think. Not necessarily in terms of subscribers, but you can't have everything. Where's my meat? Yes. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty certain. I mean, I'm not going to go back month by month, but if I look at my analytics, you can see that right now I'm sort of kind of averaging 200 views a day. It keeps going up slowly but surely. The weird thing is the number of subscribers, while it keeps going up, the rate doesn't keep increasing. It stays at a steady rate as far as I can tell. But hey, whatever. Honestly, the fun is more important. Until such time as, it becomes a thing of value. Oh, we still have the Aurora going on. Unfortunately, I don't think YouTube counts kitties as valid viewers, but I certainly do. What is your cat's name, Zen Lennis? Right now we have Darnie and Peanut. Yes. In Warframe, one of my companions, known as a Kubro, is called Peanut, and he is named for Darnie's cat, Misfit. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be. Oh, I might actually. I was going to think. I've got 3 animals in Warframe, and there's the possibility of a 4th sooner or later, which would be this sort of vampiric thing. I shall try and remember Misfit as a potential name. Right. And we are going to get this done today, I think. I don't remember the moose skin coat. Oh no! Poor cat. And we have a moose skin coat. How about that? So, and my armor should be up. Yeah, 42%. Oh, that's so cute. That's interesting, actually. Hang on a second. That's interesting. I didn't realize this. The moose skin cloak is not as warm as the wolf skin coat. But here's the thing about it. This is why you want it. If I harvest this, I get the entire moose skin back, which means I can then remake the cloak. So I don't technically need to shoot another moose. Yes, if you look, if I do actions and I harvest it, I get the cured moose hide back. In order to remanufacture it, you would need 1 cured moose hide, which we get, and then 4 cured gut. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry about your cat. You and Jepai Day have both had unfortunate issues with cats lately, for which I'm very sorry. Smokey and Bacon. Right. we are in a position. That was quicker than I expected, to be honest. I did not think it would be that quick. Where is... Oh, there's the bedroll. So we can now... We'll pass a bit of time. Oh, well, I know what it's like to lose companions. Dogs, specifically, so yeah. You end up loving your dogs and your cats as much as you love children or people, arguably. I always found it amusing. There was a debate or question slash answer on ethics or morals. And the question was posed, if you had a choice between rescuing, if there's a house on fire and you have a choice between rescuing the dog or a human being you don't know, which would you rescue? And I think some people said, we'd rescue the dog. And that was regarded with some horror. And personally, I can understand the answer. The dog doesn't have a choice. The human being could conceivably get themselves out of the problem, possibly more easily than the dog. But another example, of course, is the John Wick movies. How many people think that John Wick was justified after the death of his dog? A lot of people agreed that the whole premise of the John Wick movies was entirely justified by the killing of his dog. Which is hilarious. I must admit, faced with that proposition, yeah, they are. Yeah. Faced with that proposition, what would I do myself? Rescue the dog or rescue the human? I hope I never have to make that decision, to be honest with you. I suspect I would actually rescue the human, but I would regret the decision afterwards, I have no doubt. Just as if I rescued the dog, I would regret the decision afterwards. Oh, yeah. The John Wick movies are hilarious in a way. But yeah, just watch the first movie. They're pretty good movies. Yeah, I do like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I think he's underrated, albeit he tends to play the same person every single time. But so what? So did Bruce Willis. They all sort of run into each other. Yeah, they've all got their moments. Where's the... Can't find my... There's the bedroll. Oops. I don't watch TV. I have a TV that I used to have as a fourth monitor, but it's now in my living room and I never watch it. I much personally prefer to actually watch a movie on the computer or watch YouTube, to be honest. I tend to find that if I want to watch a silly movie, I can probably find it on YouTube. If I want, I watch documentaries or commentaries or something like that, something serious. Yes, I heard. I haven't played Cyberpunk and I probably never will. I haven't got enough time and it's not really my kind of thing, to be honest. But hey Tony, welcome back. We are looking at darkness. Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. I am very pleased so far with the way this plan worked out, that I was able to harvest the rest of the bear, and now I can consider getting out of here. Let's just... I understand it's improved a lot over time. Oh, look at that. I went through most of the meat I cooked, so it's not going to be entirely wasted, although I will not be carrying this with me. So I did in fact end up using almost all of the bear. Yeah, I'm not going to carry that across because of reasons. Let's make sure I got everything. I have my pot, I've got my bedroll, I've got this, we're good. And I have a moose skin coat. And a bear skin coat. So now what I want to do is get out of here. Where's the way out? Didn't leave anything behind, used it all up. Where's the stairs? Anybody seen the stairs lately? Okay. Oh yes, I did make a joke once, didn't I? That I should entitle one of the long dark have as a title for one of the long dark episodes, Dude, where's my pot? Don't think YouTube would be very happy with me. Hey Sam, how are you doing?
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. Leaving considerably lighter than I entered. I don't smell too much. Now the big risk is, did the moose respawn? Yeah. This is probably not the best of circumstances to be heading back. go. And yeah, that was good timing. The moose is gone. There's a good chance I'm going to run across wolves. Let us cross fingers and hope. Not the moose, the bear, yeah. So I only lost about 2 kilograms of bear because I don't want to carry it all this way. Oh, grief. That's not too bad. Sorry, though, that... I'm sorry if that's outside of your normal experience. I have funny sleeping hours, so for me, 3:45, I've been awake for sometimes over an hour and a half. So, we do not have a moose on the ice over there, so that is one good thing. The next location is actually over there near the truck. I once got trampled over there by the truck. The moose was on that slope, took one look at me exiting the truck and decided to trample me. I think that was the second time I had been trampled by that particular moose. Yes, I've been awake since 1:30. If I don't get a nap this afternoon, I am going to be very curmudgeonly. So the next risk, once I get past here, is the wolves, which are right over there, possibly. This is turned into a... It's not completely unusual for me. I'm normally awake and up and have made coffee by 3 a.m. and running my first game of the day. Not live streaming it, I mean. It's a little awkward, some of this, but it's a good survival spot. It has to be said. I mean, there's only, as far as I know, the one bear in this area. There is the moose. Now, granted, if you only have a bow and arrow, the moose is going to be a bit of a problem. I've never killed a moose with a bow and arrow. One day I'm going to have to give it a try. Rabbit skin gloves. Am I still carrying firewood? What do you want to bet I'm still carrying firewood? And we're back. We are back at the lighthouse. The funny thing is, when I lived in Austria and we had minus 20 degrees centigrade winters, I didn't wear gloves. I found it easier to retract my hands inside the sleeves of my heavy coat. They were warmer than wearing gloves. Was it? I did not know that. And I still have some wolf meat I can cook. No, I was not carrying firewood.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
We will put away my spare coat. I now have 2 of these. I used to wear 2 of them. And then, yes, now I don't need it. I'm not sure what it says when in the game you have a wolfskin coats in surplus. Those are nicely curing. That's cured. That's cured. That's cured. That's in progress. Six. I have 9 rabbit pelts and 5 wolf pelts and more guts than I know what to do with. Well, I'm pretty sure you can't destroy any of the buildings either, so, and the deer hide's almost done. Whoa, progress. So I'll hopefully be able to fix my boots shortly. Those are nearly cured. Yes, we are definitely, as they say, well, they don't necessarily say, we are cooking with gas. This is proven to be a most successful sojourn. I should put the MREs away.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Ah. Right. I am going A meat curing box? No, I don't. You can't stick the skins in there. I don't think you can only stick meat in there. And to be honest, the processes of preserving. Yeah, never mind. We'll lock. The game isn't about the technicalities. Um, right. That's cute. Right, I'm going to take a quick break for reasons of biology. I will be back in a couple of minutes. And I'm back. And now for a word from our sponsor. Is the Great White North getting you down? Eat Pinnacle Peaches for all your nutritional needs. Yes, I know that's the second time I've made that joke today, actually. So I apologize if you were present during my Warframe live stream, because I made the same joke then. Right. What am I doing? I don't know. Watching for moose, I suppose. It sort of begs the question, if the moose reappears, do I shoot it? Or should I start thinking about going back to the Quonset hut? What can I do here? Okay, what can I do back at the Quonset hut? I can trade. Thank you. What can I do here? I can't trade here. Only other thing that I can really do here is use the forge, and I don't really need to. I've got arrows.
Not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, I was going to cook up the wolf, wasn't I? And I do need firewood. Oh, I got water though, so got water for another day, maybe a bit longer. I do want to cook up the rest of my wolf. Ooh, 99%. Alright, so anything else I can put away? Yes, I can put away some of that. I don't need... don't really need accelerants, do I? Let's see. Ah, I have books to read, don't I? Where's the other book? There we go. And wilderness kitchen. And what's the temperature right now in the game? I'm not sure, actually. Chilly. Cold. Definitely on the cold side. Actually, now that I think about it, does it show me? It is minus 20. It's minus 20. Yeah. And I got scurvy risk. Ooh, whoops. Do a bit of a cooking thing. I don't know that I have. Hang on. Yeah, minus 20. Not too bad.
Come on, little fire.
This isn't the coldest place in the game. I'm not actually sure where the coldest place in the game is, but the approach to Bleak Inlet certainly qualifies. Do I have... what have I got in here that will help me? Don't think I've got enough of those, have I? I don't think I've got enough. I moderately certain I do not have enough. No, I don't. That's... What have I got that will help with... Does tomato soup help? Anybody know if tomato soup helps with the vitamin C problem? Oh, yes, it does. Hello, Nika Brika / Brikaj. How are you doing? No, I've got burdock root back in the other location. I should have picked up the burdock root from the whaling station. I didn't. I forgot. Drat. That's okay. I can sort stuff out. Oh, and I got cabin fever risk. Of course I do. Spend the night in the car. Oh, drat. That was stupid of me. The zone of contamination was where I died last time, but not of the cold. I died of suffocation in the mine. I actually thought I would be more upset than I really was. For some reason I wasn't. I didn't want to do that. Oh no, it's alright. I think that's all my meat cooked. And here's why I carry sticks. Now I've got to see if it's light enough outside that I can head for the car. There's the door.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
No. This is not good conditions for me to be heading out to the car. It is really not good conditions. Oops. Just don't go into the contaminated mine. I wonder if out... Does the top of the... Let's try something. I wonder if the top of the lighthouse qualifies as... Does the top of the lighthouse qualify as being outside but sheltered? Let's try that.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
That would be a useful thing to know. Forgot about the storm lantern. Could have saved myself a lot of trouble. Do I have enough? Yes, I do. I don't have enough sticks to make a shelter because I just used them on the fire. Oh! Well, at least you remembered. So, that's a question. Does this qualify as being outside? And the answer is, I think it does. So we are going to try something here. Yeah, thank you very much, Anna. So here's a little experiment for you. Well, to fix cabin fever, you have to sleep outside. And the definition of outside's a little vague. Inside a car counts as outside. Inside the fishing hut counts as outside. And I've never actually tried the top of the lighthouse. In the past, when I wanted to deal with cabin fever, I've galloped to the car. Never occurred to me until it was so dark I couldn't see where I was going. No, I do appreciate everybody's assistance. Good night, Bricage. Have a good day. I will probably see you later. Yeah, that's a good idea, unless it's a blizzard. Good heavens, I have 47 people watching. Hello, 47 people watching. That's pretty good for me. Ah, look, cabin fever is gone. Yay for cabin fever. Or not. So, that's a good thing to know. The top of the lighthouse counts as being outside. Oh yeah, just cranked up to 50. Don't forget, one of them is me, so I don't count. Because I have the YouTube preview on my tablet here, which has proven remarkably useful when the other day Bricage said, "Is there something wrong with the YouTube stream?" And I looked and I was able to say, yes, there was something wrong. It hadn't started. So I don't do this to give myself an extra view. I do it so that if there's a problem, I can actually see what everybody else is seeing. I do it with Twitch as well, but don't actually. I probably could. I could probably do split screen with Twitch and view both at once. If you get cabin fever, you have to sleep outside. Yes. Well, thank you. This is definitely a trick to remember. 52. Oh.
Looks like a new day is dawning.
Then Lennis, do you know the trick to sleeping outside? Only sleep 2 hours at a time. I was taught that. It was either Anna or Bubba taught me that one, I think. And the reason you only sleep 2 hours at a time is if it gets cold, you don't die. If you sleep for 4 hours outside and the temperature drops, you could die in your sleep. So when you're outside, you never sleep for more than 2 hours at a time. At least I don't. Even in a car, you can find yourself slowly freezing to death, or quickly freezing to death if it's bad enough. Right. It hasn't actually given me the vitamin C warning, even though I do have a scurvy risk, but it's not given me the warning yet, so I should now go and hunt down Rose Hips. It should be over there somewhere, so we are going to have to... Yeah. It should be okay. Oh, and we can fix our booties.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, even in the car. I remember, actually, Dani, this was the first time Dani watched me was during the live stream entitled, what was it, Never Give Up? You should go watch that one because I'm quite proud of that one. Not because of the stream itself per se, but because I survived a minor nightmare, but at the end of it, I end up in a car getting some sleep, which I desperately needed by that point, and then a blizzard cranked up, and I started freezing to death in the car, and I had to make my way from the car in the blizzard at night to huts that I knew were nearby. So I was very proud of what I did in that live stream. I thought I was going to die. I thought, that's it. End of stream. I'm dead. And then I thought, you know what? Let's go for it. And yeah. It worked. The moral of survival is, in this game, is never give up. Right. That's new. That's new. That's new. Those are new. The wolfskin pants need fixing. But this is why we have this. What's my... I'm up to 28 degrees warmth bonus. Right, let's go and see if I can find... I've got my can with me.
And this pack is getting...
Alright, this is okay. Let's go and grab some stuff. I have food on me. In principle, as long as I don't go further than the bridge over there, I shouldn't run into the moose if it has respawned. Now, the downside is, if I don't come across wolves, I would be amazed. Oh, the rabbits are back. I mean, not that I ever really hunted them out to extinction here. Quite far. I don't know what the range is. The simplest rule is stay well away from it. On a good day with a following wind, you can, I think, actually see it from here. Over there. You can sort of see the antlers over there. So what we're going to do is... yeah, just turn up here, go up the road a bit. Ah, there's a deer. It's the same one the wolf got, I suspect. And I am going to do something I have not been doing much lately. Look at this. We have burdock. Yes, 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 we have burdock. Oh, well, thank you. I'm blushing. I am reminded of, I think it was the Stalker run before this one, which didn't succeed too well, where I ended up in forlorn muskeg surviving on burdock. It's an ingredient in root beer, I think. You can get dandelion and burdock in this country, and it tastes to me like root beer. I'm not quite sure how you would describe burdock. Yeah, a distinctive flavour. Oh, we're very glad you decided to join the chat. It helps me no end.
Walk with this much gear.
Now let's. Well, I think chatting. I don't know. Does chatting help the algorithm? Oh yeah, burdock in the game definitely helps with vitamin C, yeah. And 250 calories, so... Hello, wabbits. And if any of the 68 people watching would care to leave a like and subscribe, that would be very helpful. In fact, if all 68 of you who are not subscribed did subscribe, I would break 300 very easily. I imagine, though, that YouTube would get a bit suspicious if I suddenly had 30 subscribers in a day, but I wouldn't complain. I would rather have to deal with the potential problem than not. So, yes, I thought it might. Oh, yes. The worst part is then you have to run up to them and break their neck. That is one of the more gruesome parts of the game. It's not necessarily the most gruesome part of the game. I think being mauled by a bear is arguably worse. Because all you hear is, you know, tearing and screaming and you can't do anything. Do you know what? I haven't actually, in this run, hit a rabbit with a rock. All the rabbits I've killed, I think I've snared. I haven't actually hit one with a rock. Not that I recall. Haven't hit one... Don't think I've hit one with a bow and arrow either. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. What do you want to call this rabbit that I'm about to cook and eat? Yeah. Very Minecraft. Grab a name tag and tag a rabbit in the game. Ooh, that would be kind of fun to do. In Minecraft once I did in fact tag one of the bats with a name tag. I called it inevitably Dracula. I guess I shall be feasting on burdock. And we got enough firewood to keep us going. I should have picked up sticks as well, but never mind. They named one of the rabbits Anna.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh. Oh, Thumper. Yes. Bambi. Watch the movie, read the book, eat the cast. I read the book when I was a kid. Felix Salten. And the sequel. I've still got a scurvy risk. Okay, so tomorrow I've got to go back out and oh, I'm not thirsty. I stuck them. Use a can of Pinnacle Peaches right now. So we got to go out in the morning. Hang on a second, there's just something I want to check over here. Oh, look at that. Huh. I was just looking at my watch hours for yesterday. Nearly 300, I think. No, 280, I think. That's good. Actually, hang on. Since Saturday, since Saturday, I have exceeded 200 views every single day. And that is pretty good for me. How good am I at throwing the rocks? I used to estimate I had about a 50-50 success at rock throwing. I should hasten to add, in Voyager, where you could get closer. So yes, you're not the first person to say my voice puts people to sleep. That's an interesting advertising point. Watch Shards of Insanity. He'll put you to sleep. If you really want to be put to sleep by me, I've got some videos from early in the channel where I read out that game company's end-user license agreement and associated documentation that has apparently been known to put people to sleep. Even the bit about the zombie apocalypse. And no, I'm not actually kidding. That particular end-user license agreement has something about the zombie apocalypse in it, to my considerable amusement. Apparently, they're not alone in that. Other people do, but they have done something similar. But I have not. That was the only one I read. It was inspired because people on the official Facebook channel were complaining, and so I realized they didn't really know what the end user license agreement actually said. So I read out all the legal documentation I could find. I think it's a total. I think the end user license agreement, the privacy policy, I think between them's 4 hours, but I didn't do it in one go. I'm not that daft. Right, so that's cured, that's cured. Oh, look at this. I have
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
I did actually at one point start reading Grimm's fairy tales. They're archived as well. I ended up, instead of doing what used to be a sort of semi-Wednesday regular thing, playing video games turned out to be much more successful than reading. I did actually once start trying to do a audiobook, essentially. I wasn't doing it live, and it's very difficult to do. If you have a very good editor, that would make life a lot easier, but I am not a very good editor, and it would take an unconscionable amount of time to get everything. Getting consistent reading, pace, tone, style is surprisingly difficult. What? The Grimm's fairy tales. Yeah, the version I was reading was the not the censored one per se. There's a wolf. The one I was reading was the one where Cinderella's stepsisters have their eyes plucked out by pigeons. That didn't make it into the Disney movie, did it? Well, there is an earlier version, which I haven't read on stream, but I have read, and I can't remember all the details, unfortunately. I'm trying to remember the there is a 1698 version, which ends quite differently. In the 1698 version of Cinderella, everybody is forgiven and lives happily ever after, including the stepsisters, who weren't ugly, by the way, and everybody marries well and lives happily ever after. The emphasis on I think it was the French version of Cinderella, was forgiveness. The emphasis on the version that Grimm's Fairy Tales uses is justice, and a very unpleasant justice as well. It gets quite, yes, it's yeah, the Grimm's Fairy Tales versions is really quite grim. Famously, the stepsisters, in an attempt to get their foot into the slipper, cut pieces off their foot to make it fit. And it fools the prince, and it takes, I think it's pigeons, birds anyway, telling him, "You've got the wrong sister, there's blood in the shoe." Eventually, obviously, he gets the right person. But then everybody goes to the wedding, and rather bizarrely, on the way to the wedding, the pigeons peck out one eye each of the stepsisters. Now, rather in a somewhat peculiar thing, shall we say, they still go to the wedding. On the way back out of the wedding, the pigeons peck out the other eye. Yeah. So no, they're similar stories with quite different emphasis. One is justice and vengeance, and the other one is forgiveness. Oh, I hit him.
I think I can use this.
I remember once shooting the wolf, and because it was the only thing I could find to eat, pursued it until it died. But no, some of Grimm's fairy tales are quite fascinating. Hansel and Gretel, or Hansel, because it's a umlaut, is also quite interesting because it reflects starvation and dire circumstances and this sort of thing, and sort of reflects what may well have happened during periods of famine. It's very dark. The funny thing about Hansel and Gretel is that it's very dark up to a point, and at the end it gets very odd indeed. And because all of a sudden you get things like magical ducks carrying the children across a river. Yes, magical ducks. A duck that is apparently big enough to carry them across the river. And as I recall, the ending finishes something like, "There goes a mouse. If I catch it, I can make a hat out of it." I think that was Hansel and Gretel. So it's a very weird story. I mean, in some ways it's not. We're all familiar with the basic idea about Hansel and Gretel. So up to a certain point, it's almost okay. Yes, we see what's going on here. And you would be forgiven for thinking the logical ending of it. They go back to the father, they're reconciled, and so on and so forth, and what have you. But no, they've got this bizarre section in there. It's really strange. But that's not the only. I mean, there's a lot of. Yeah, really. There's a lot of really odd stories in the in Grimm's fairy tales, and some of them by modern standards. Oh, look at that. Some of them by modern standards are very. It's like, what? Even by the standards of the time, they would be questionable. Now, how many of you are familiar with the story of Rapunzel? No, not Rapunzel. Yes, Rapunzel. I'm sorry, Rapunzel. All right. I'm going to wait till if somebody answers that question. Yeah, Rapunzel's it's a fairly famous story. People have made films of it. I think they did that fairly recently, didn't they? Rapunzel gets imprisoned in a tower and lets down her hair so that she can be rescued and this sort of thing. Now, in the story, Rapunzel is visited by the prince, right? Now, the prince, as I recall, he helps, hang on a second, he helps Rapunzel escape, if memory serves me correctly. I think I'm right, aren't I? But not before he gets her pregnant. Okay, fine, you might think. Now, what happens to the prince is... No, actually, I can't remember the precise details. Anyway, he is captured by the witch and blinded, and goes wandering around the desert until he hears the voice of his beloved Rapunzel, who I think has had twins by this point. Right, okay. How old was Rapunzel, do you think, when the prince got her pregnant? Anybody want to hazard a guess? I think it's actually pretty clearly stated in the story. No. 13 or 14. Yeah, she's that young. Yeah. As I recall, it's made pretty clear. And despite what you might think, some people have excused that kind of thing by saying, well, you know, people married young in the Middle Ages or late Middle Ages. And this is true. This is somewhat true. Except that having children that young was... No, it wasn't okay. That's actually the thing. Marriage, yes, that was one thing. But when Henry VII's mother got pregnant at 13 and I think gave birth at 14, that was considered to be too young. Oh, wow. So, yeah, no, even by the standards of medieval England, from what I gather, yeah, no, it was, yeah, 14, even 14 was considered too young to be having children. So, what was her name? Can't remember. What was the name of Henry VII's mother? I know her last name was Tudor Pole, I think. But yeah, no. Her experience was not typical and was considered somewhat shocking, shall we say? Scandalous? A bit off. Whoa, 95 watching. Wow. Likes and subscribes, gratefully received. I can't remember if she became a nun. I know she never had children again. The birthing process was an absolute screaming nightmare for her. Went on for an unconscionably long time. It is remarkable that she survived, but she was not able to have children again. But I don't remember the rest of her story. Oh, that's where one of the wolves dropped dead. Or is that just a rock-shaped? No, it's a... come on, up you get. I shall call you lunch. Which is a really dark story, Rapunzel or Henry VII's mother? People don't realize just how appalling life was throughout most of human history. It's only relatively recently that humans have started to pull ourselves out of that constant cycle of well, death, basically. I mean, your children would die young. Yep, the highest, the biggest cause of death for women of childbearing age in the Middle Ages, in medieval period, was childbirth. Yeah, no, it's if you were say lived in a village, you know, you were a serf and you lived in a village. If you were 40 something years old, you were old. Now, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case for the rich. Because the rich had better food and better medical care, and they did have better medical care. You know, they could easily get into their 60s. That was not uncommon. We have records, I think, at the Battle of Towton. One of the oldest knights who actually was in combat, I think, was 72. But that was the rich. The circumstances for the vast majority of people were very different. Oh, well, now we are starting to approach record-breaking levels. I've got a suspicion that is now getting to my 4th most successful live stream. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, no, it's for most of human history, the average lifespan. It's a bit of, I think there's a bit of debate about it for various reasons, but you know, 20s or 30s, and that was probably pretty much it for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, 105, including myself. Right. Lunchtime. Well, yeah, sort of.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
My record for the Long Dark and my most successful live stream ever was 250. And do you know what the amusing thing about that was? Yes, I have heard of Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's quite famous, that and its sequel. The funny thing was that that live stream where I had 250 concurrent, and I think it was 655 total, I didn't get a single subscription out of it. What am I putting away here? Oh, crafting. Okay, there was something I was going to put away here, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, let's get the rose hips out. Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Oh, my father's family. My father is 90 this year. Still drives a car. Still maintains his own car. You know, his mother died at 102, 103. His brother, who'd had a leg amputated due to untreated diabetes, still hung on to 89. Yeah, my father's side of the family is notoriously long-lived. And mind you, it has to be said, there were always people, you know, who did live a long time. I think they found Neanderthals in their 40s. And it was obvious that they had been taken care of. You just have to avoid all the things that can very easily kill you. One of the reasons cancer is so prevalent now is simply we live long enough to get it. Oh, I was going to put away that, wasn't I? No, never mind. That's what I was going to do. Put away the salty crackers. Oh, and I forgot. I have 2 bows now, don't I? Where's the other bow? Yeah. Spare bow. That's nice. Saves me from having to make it. Right. But like I said, at the Battle of Towton,
Come on.
you
I'm
had
not gonna be able to carry this
some
much
rich
longer.
lord, and I forget his name, 72, actively taking part in the battle. So it was obviously possible for people to live a long time and be healthy enough to do something like, fight a battle. Any books I would recommend? Yeah. On what subject? History? Oh, grief. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'd have to start digging out my library. And that's all electronic. And most of the history books I've got are actually aviation. Because I used to do an aviation channel. I did have a book once that was about the life of peasant villagers, and I can't remember what it was called. It was tremendously well written, and I can't remember what it was called or who wrote it. Oops. I don't have a favorite books. I've never had a favorite book. Ah. Good grief. I mean, it's a bit late for me to start talking about books. Remind me and I'll pontificate about books next time. Oh, we have an aurora. What am I doing? I'm dropping water. And I am going to devour. Nope. No, prepared bird up. There we go. Why doesn't prepared burdock show up as food? Except... Right, talking of lunch... I've never seen an aurora in real life, no. Even though, a few years ago, oh great, cabin fever is... Alright, okay, I can take a hint. I shouldn't do this, but... Well, we'll go outside and take a look at the aurora, I guess. So, this is the bit where I kind of... For the 107 people watching who do not know me, this is the bit where I start winding down. Because I've been going for over 2 hours, and that's pretty much my limit.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that came on. Of course it would do, wouldn't it? That's a screenshot worth taking. There we go. Oh, you're very welcome. So what I typically do at this, I say typically, often do at this point is talk Astrid through the night. And, or whoever I'm playing, I should say. I will be back this evening with Warframe at 7 PM Greenwich Mean Time. And the next Long Dark live stream will be 9 AM Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow. If you are subscribed and you've clicked the bell button, you will be also notified if I do a very early morning live stream, which I generally do, but it's not officially scheduled. So we'll just get Astrid through the night so that tomorrow we will start at the beginning of a brand new day. Yeah, which looks like it's going to be. Yeah, sorry about that. It can get really, really intense on screen. I don't mean the content necessarily, it's just the way it's presented. And look at that.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Still no moose. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. I hope you all have a most excellent day. Be kind to dogs and children. Be excellent to each other. And I will see you all next time.